Good evening, I'm Taylor Thomas with a CTV News update. The numbers are in, and the county had the second highest voter turnout in Maryland on the first day of early voting. According to state election officials, more than 5,400 county residents voted on day one of early voting. Statewide, more than 43,000 cast ballots. In person, remember, here in Prince George's, there are 13 polling centers.
The bond issues. For money, the bond issues. That's what brought me up, because most of the people are running unopposed. So
what do you think about the governor's race? Did that spur you to come out?
Yeah, well, I always do, yeah.
We're concerned about funding for the blueprint for Maryland's future. The delegates and the candidates, I mean, pretty much the primary for them was their election. There are some contested races for school board in this area.
The early voting period will last until next Thursday, November 3rd. Well, winter is right around the corner, and county public works crews are getting ready with their annual snow and ice exercise. The exercise allows snowplow drivers, supply monitors, and customer service representatives to test out practices and procedures. Officials say they're prepared for winter.
See, dry run, we do more than anything is inspection, and every single county roadway. We are inspecting for looking for potholes, any obstruction on the road, steel plates, or anything that could cause not to do our job during the snow event, and we report that to trip center or dispatch immediately.
Of course, every season is different. We mobilized 8 times this last year, and prior to that we mobilized 7 times. So I won't say that it was necessarily a light winter, but it probably was an average winter for here in Maryland. And we're hoping that we continue to have an average winter, but of course we're prepared for whatever the season brings.
More than 400 DPWT employees took part in the snow and ice dry run. As we reported yesterday, minority home ownership increased slightly during the pandemic thanks to low interest rates and a foreclosure moratorium. But the Urban Institute says the gap between white homeowners and people of color has actually grown in decades since the 1968 Fair Housing Act. Advocates say redlining, gentrification, recession, and investor purchases has all contributed to the increased disparity.
Homeownership rate for households of colors, both households and Latino households, fell pretty precipitously during the Great Recession. There has been some recovery among Latino households, but Black households have had their homeownership rate remain low and slightly declining over the longer period. And it's also true that when we look and when we project out through to 2040, given just the rate of household formation and general trends in the population, we project that without any kind of intervention, the overall homeownership rate for Black households is expected to continue to decrease slightly.
The Urban Institute says its goal is a 50% increase in Latino homeownership by 2024 and an additional 3 million Black homeowners by 2030. The latest COVID-19 numbers in our area show an uptick in the number of new cases. According to the Maryland Department of Health, more than 850 new cases have been confirmed. The positivity rate in Prince George's is at 8.05%. 11 Marylanders have died over the past 24 hours, and 435 people are hospitalized with the disease. You're watching CTV News. I'm Taylor Thomas. Coming up, equestrian art at its best in Upper Marlboro. Stay with us.
We grew up together. We believed in something bigger than ourselves. The military took me to one side of the world and her to the other. And even though she was always the strong one, when we caught up years later, I found out she had fallen on some hard times. It was her call to make, but doing it together made all the difference.
For veterans who are homeless or on the brink of homelessness, call 877-424-3838.
Good evening and welcome back. As Maryland's Horse Month draws to a close, we take you back to Upper Marlboro home of this year's Washington International Horse Show. As Byron Scott reports, the small town is home also to other equines of an artistic sort.
If you've been through downtown Upper Marlboro lately, you may have noticed a horse or two around town. The real ones at the Washington International Horse Show and the artistic interpretations at various locations.
Of course, October is National Arts and Humanities Month, it's National Horse Month, and of course we have the Washington International Horse Show here in Prince George's County. We wanted to find a way to liven the space and really kind of bring some public art to the town.
And that they have done. The works include 3 horses and murals, all painted by local artists from Prince George's County. Kiana Clark painted this horse in honor of Cheryl White.
I started riding races in 1971.
White was the first black female jockey in the U.S.
So a lot of times when I do my artwork, it's based upon powerful women or strong women or groundbreaking people.
Note that the color pattern of the horse is repeated on Clark's footwear.
So I have an aesthetic, and as an artist, we want to be identified. So my aesthetic is bright colors because I always think of happiness and power when I think of bright colors.
I used to ride English saddle, I rode Western saddle.
Jay Coleman grew up riding horses, and on this day he is painting one of several murals stretched at the intersection of Water and Main Streets.
So this is just a great opportunity to share my artwork with the community.
So I need to bring out some of the shadows, some of the highlights, make some more definition in the hair, give her a little bit more face, some eyelashes, bring her to life.
The placement and creation of the art was set to coincide with the return of the International Horse Show. Luther Wright is the curator.
This project has been great because I feel like Upper Marlboro, especially downtown Upper Marlboro, is in dire need of art, color, and culture. And it's it's great to be on the forefront of that mission that's coming forward.
The murals should be up for the next 4 months. The horse sculptures are here to stay. Byron Scott, CTV News.
State police have arrested a local man on child pornography distribution and possession charges. He's been identified as 25-year-old Joshua Ramsey of Bowie. He is currently being held at a detention center awaiting his first court appearance. Agents seized electronic devices from his home and suspect that he had multiple victims. Officials at BWI Marshall Airport report that TSA officers have broken a record for the most guns confiscated in a single year, and we still have 2 months to go. This year, TSA agents have caught 24 guns, one more than all of last year, and 7 guns were seized during a 10-day period this month. Violators with or without concealed carry permits can be hit with hefty fines in the thousands because weapons cannot be carried onto an airplane. More news and sports after the break. Stay with us.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Welcome back. Potomac River stream flow is so low, hourly drought monitoring is now required for much of the region's prime drinking water source. The agency that coordinates plans between the 3 water services that rely on the river says the water supply is not yet at risk, but according to WTOP, the flow has dropped below a threshold that triggers daily drought monitoring in the basin. Washington Aqueduct, Fairfax Water, and WSSC Water all intake H2O from the Potomac. An Oxon Hill man is arrested in Fairfax County after he allegedly drove a school bus full of children off the road. 48-year-old Troy Reynolds was transporting 44 D.C. elementary school students and their chaperones home from a field trip. At the time, 9 of the children on the bus had minor injuries. Reynolds was found to have a blood alcohol level 2.5 times over the legal limit. Reynolds has been charged with driving while intoxicated and reckless care of a child. He's being held without bond at a Fairfax County adult detention center. A Hyattsville man is charged with attempting voyeurism after the discovery of a hidden camera in a D.C. bathroom. 41-year-old Edie Haran was a contractor hired to remodel an apartment in the district. He allegedly installed the camera in a bathroom changing area. Haran was arrested and pleaded not guilty Thursday. He was released with a promise to appear at his next court date on December 6. Attempting voyeurism is a misdemeanor charge. The Washington Wizards have had similar luck on the court, winning their last game against the Detroit Pistons. But tonight they battle the Indiana Pacers for the second time this season. The last time the two teams saw each other was for the regular season opener, and the Wizards went home with the W. So tonight's game is at 7:30 in the Capital One Arena. It's something definitely to put on the calendar to watch. All right, after a 2-year pause due to COVID, a popular fall festival and expo is back this weekend. That's right, the County Fire Department will host its Fall Festival and Recruitment Expo this Saturday, October 29th. The family-friendly event will include trunk or treating, face painting, and other fun activities for the kids. Officials say there will also be educational component to the event as well. Attendees will learn about all the different roles that the agency plays on a daily basis in keeping county residents safe.
It's good for the community to be able to engage with us. When the community calls us, they call us on their worst day. So this is an opportunity for us to engage with them in a positive light, for them to see what the fire department has to offer for volunteer purposes as well as career opportunities with us.
We'll have several companies represented in terms of volunteer members. And so again, it's a great opportunity for the residents and community of Prince George's County to come out and meet local volunteers.
The free event will take place in the parking lot at the Langley Park Plaza at 8003 New Hampshire Avenue in Hyattsville from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. Well, after a little over a year off the air, Level Up is back on at CTV, hosted by Denise Roberts. Level Up gives a fresh look at the latest business, economic, technology trends, company profiles, and government policies in Prince George's County and the region. In this episode, Denise talks with President and CEO of the Economic Development Corporation, David Iannucci, owner of PJ's Coffee, Tyra and Michael Harris, and President and CEO of Industrial Bank, Doyle Mitchell.
You know, there's two types of capital. There's equity capital, there's debt capital. The bank will provide you with debt capital, but you have to have your own equity, either through your own savings or partnerships with other individuals that want to be part of the business.
But we also wanted to bring the customer service aspect. You know, my family's from Alabama, so we were rooted in the Southern hospitality. My fraternity, that's what we do. We are hospitality. So what we say is when we treat people like their family, when they come in, we want people to feel it because we truly mean it.
You can watch Level Up Tuesdays at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. and Saturday at 9 a.m. starting tomorrow right here on CTV. All right, that's a wrap up of our CTV News. I'm Taylor Thomas. Good night.